All right, for this project, what you are going to do is double check some of your settings in GitHub Desktop. If you weren't here last class, you're going to go to File, New Repository, and you're going to call it styles-conference, like so, and go ahead and hit Create Repository. I've already done that, so I'm going to skip that step. What you should see is in your Finder application, in your documents, in your GitHub folder, you have the Styles Conference folder. Now what we can do, once we've done that, is open that in Visual Studio Code, and you'll see something like the following. Your repository is shown right here. This is essentially just another Explorer or file folder or file viewer. What you're going to do is create a new file right here, and you're going to call it index.html. I've already done that, so I'm going to skip that step, and then in index.html, you are going to follow the directions that are in Shay Howe's In Practice portion, part 1. So you'll see right here, eventually you'll read steps 1 and 2, and that will lead you to add in the following code here. In between your two header tags, you're going to add the code right here, meta title, and so on and so forth. And then you go ahead and add the code in between the two body tags, which will lead you to the following bit of code that looks like so. Now, if you haven't yet, go ahead to Code and then Preferences, Settings, and check and make sure by typing in Format that your default formatter is set to code, prettier code format, and make sure that Format a File and Save is checked. You want that. You can exit out of the Settings tab there. And what we'll then do is press Command-Shift-P after we've saved our changes and use the Live Server Open with Live Server option. That's going to open up your page right here. It should render like so. Now the next thing that you're going to do is go down to the next in practice portion, which I'm going to do a Command F, find in page. So now I'm on the second in practice portion, and you'll follow these directions, and basically what it's going to ask you to do is to create a couple of new folders. Some of you have already done this, so if this is a review, you don't have to do it again. If you haven't done it, then you're going to click on the new folder button right here, and you're going to create a folder called Assets. And then inside of your Assets folder, you're going to create another folder called Style Sheets, like so. And inside of your Style Sheets folder, you're going to create a file called main.css, like so. This is going to be your style sheet. And you'll see that we're going to use this code, and this is going to be one of the rare times that I have you copy and paste code. This is called a CSS reset. As you read the directions 1 through, as you see, 4, 5, 6, it will help you better understand what's going on. But we're going to copy that code and we're going to paste it here, and you're going to see that the Code Prettier formatter tool is going to make it look a lot different, but it's going to behave exactly the same way. And so this basically is just going to make your code reset to having very minimalistic styles. But the last thing that we have to do in order to make that work is add this bit of code right here, which we will type in. You'll see it's linking our index.html page to our style sheet that is dictating what the site looks like. So here in my index page, beneath my title tag, I'll add in that link tag. I'll hit save, and as I hit save, you're going to see that this page reloads. It basically strips out any of the default settings and makes it very clean, if you will, and makes it so that your code is going to be styled without any of the default settings intervening. All right, so then what you'll do is go on to the next portion. So some of you have already done this, what I just demonstrated, so that was a review, but all of you are going to be going to lesson 2, getting to know HTML, and you're going to be completing the in practice portion of the project here. So I'm not going to go through each of these steps, but basically I want you to complete in practice part 1 right here, and then you can search down for in practice part 2 right here. Now, quick tip for you: if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, you can see the Styles Conference website. So if I right click and open that in a new tab, you should see what it looks like at this point. So we're adding a whole bunch of HTML to the document, and our CSS has stylized it to make it look sort of plain. In the next lesson, we will be adding more styles to it. So good luck with this. Make sure that you submit it to Google Classroom. You can use the same link that you submitted last time, which you can get to by going to your GitHub page after you push the commit. All right, so I've made a bunch of changes. I'm going to go to GitHub. I'm going to commit that to main. If there's multiple changes, you're going to have to give a description of the changes that you have made. So I'm going to say index and main, commit to main. I'm going to push to origin. So basically I've saved it in the version control history, but now I need to send it so that it syncs with the cloud. Now you'll see that in GitHub, if I'm in my styles conference repository, which I can get to by going to your repositories, and I hit styles conference right here, you can see that I now have my index. I've got my asset style sheets with my main.css. And if I go to settings, and I go down to my pages, I can make sure that the branch is set to main. I hit save, and that'll give me this link that I should be able to click on and view like so. Submit this link to Google Classroom, and we'll call it a day.